In this video, I'll be going over what controllers the pro players use on Call of Duty. I'm also going to point out whether or not they play claw. If they don't play claw, they use paddles, so it's pretty much one or the other. So I'm going to point out which players I know play claw. I personally play claw, and I've been playing claw since like 2008 when I first picked up an Xbox 360 controller. Before I get started on what controllers the pros use, I just want to say none of them use an Xbox controller. The reason is because you can't overclock it on the computer, so not a single pro uses it. The reason I'm making this video and even looked into what controllers the pros used is because I was using the Xbox controller, the Xbox One, for 10 years. So just last year I decided, you know what, there's probably a reason why the pros don't use it, so let me try to use the PlayStation controller. And since then I spent like $1,000 on all these different controllers. So yeah, all the controllers you'll see that these pros are using, I have like right next to me. So I've actually tried pretty much all of them over the past year. So I plan on making a separate video going over what I think of each one, the pros and the cons, this and that. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Let me know if you're interested in seeing it. But without further ado, let's get into this video. So first we got Atlanta FaZe. None of these players actually play claw. We got Draza with the PS4 controller, PS4 sticks, Celium with a PS4 controller and dome sticks, Abizi with a PS4 controller and PlayStation 5 sticks, and then Simp uses a PlayStation 5 controller, PlayStation 5 sticks. All of them use the back buttons or the back paddles, and this is pretty much the best team in the game right now. So yeah, they're definitely reliable sources. Next, we got Boston Breach. We got Snoopy with the PlayStation 5 controller and PS5 sticks. I know he plays claw. Next, we got Awakening, PS4 controller with the Edge Control Freak. It doesn't matter what thumbstick is under the Control Freak, because the Control Freak basically takes over. Next, for Cammy and Purge, I don't know what they use. For Cammy, it just said PS4 Scuff on his Twitch, so yeah, I'm not 100% sure for those two. Next, we got the Carolina Royal Ravens. TJ Haley uses a PS4 controller and a CQC Control Freak. And then Gwyn, Rex, and Slasher all use a PlayStation 4 controller. I'm like 99% sure they all use PlayStation 4 sticks, but since I'm not 100%, I'm just going to list PS4. Next, we got C9. For Sib, he uses a PS4 controller with PS4 sticks. I know he used a Control Freak in like the last game or something, and then he took it off. And then we got Attach using a PS4 controller with Scuff sticks. And then Kremp PS4 controller with Xbox One stick as the left, and then PS4 for the right. And then I'm not sure about Mac. Alright, for the Falcons, we got Pred using a PS4 controller with PS4 sticks. Xnid using a PS4 controller with some type of no slip grip. I know it's not Control Freak, but you could go on his Twitch and find that if you're interested. For Arcides, it said on his Twitch PS4 controller with concave sticks, so I take that as Xbox sticks, but it didn't specifically say that. But we're going to put it as Xbox sticks. And then for Priesta, he just uses PS4 controller with PS4 sticks. Alright, for Fellow, we got PS4 controller with Xbox sticks. Lunars, PS4 controller with PS4 sticks. Johnny, PS4 controller, PS4 sticks. And then Kismet uses a PS5 Scuff Reflex, which has Scuff sticks on it. Alright, LA Thieves, probably the number 1 or 2 best team in the game. I'd say they're after FaZe, so probably the second best team. But anyways, we got Hydra using the PS4 controller with PS4 sticks. I know he plays claw. Scrappy, PS4 controller, PS4 sticks. He does not play claw. Ghosty, PS5 controller with some off-market sticks. If you're interested, I could list them in the description. I actually did make a separate video on Ghosty's thumbsticks, so you could just check that one out. And then Envoy uses a PS4 controller with PS4 sticks. Also, real quick, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you like it and subscribe if you have not already. Alright, for the Miami Heretics, we got Real and Ranker both using a Scuff PS5 Reflex, which has Scuff sticks. And then for Super and Metals, I'm not sure what they use. Next, we got the Minnesota Rocker. We got Nero using a PS4 controller with PS4 sticks. Kenny also using that. Geo just says PS4 Battle Beaver, and then Estriel Scuff with 1 paddle. So I don't know about the last two. Alright, Optic Texas, we got Shotzi using the PS4 controller with Xbox sticks. Hook using a PS5 controller with Xbox sticks. Also, I know Hook used a PS4 controller with Xbox sticks before switching to this. I think he just did in the beginning of Black Ops 6. Skies uses a PS4 controller with an Xbox One as the left and then a PS4 as the right. And then for Dashy, I'm really not sure, but I'm pretty sure he uses a PS4 controller with PS4 sticks. For Toronto Ultra, we got Joe Deceives using a PS5 controller with an Inferno Control Freak. And then I'm pretty sure that's a high-rise Control Freak, which is crazy, because I hate those. I hate the high sticks. But Kleenex, we got using a PS4 controller with the Alpha Control Freak. Beans using a PS5 controller with PS5 sticks. And then Insight uses a PS5 Scuff Reflex with Scuff sticks. And then just a quick shout, we got Mercules using a default PS5 controller with PS5 sticks. He actually doesn't play claw or doesn't use paddles, which is absolutely insane. Next, we got the Vancouver Surge. We got Neptune using a PS4 controller with long scuff sticks. I know he plays claw, so he doesn't use paddles. And then we got Abuza, who uses a PS4 controller, PS4 sticks, and then pretty much the same for the rest of them. All right, next I'm just going to add a couple other players that I think are worth making the video. So we got Skump. He uses a stock PS4 controller with PS4 thumbsticks, and he plays claw. Havoc, we got a PS5 scuff reflex with PS5 thumbsticks. Or not PS5 thumbsticks, the scuff thumbsticks, my bad. Next, we got the GOAT of Warzone. I think this is honestly the only Warzone player really worth mentioning, respectfully, of course. But yeah, Biffle uses a PS4 controller with PS4 thumbsticks. And he also plays claw. He actually plays double claw, so on both sides. All right, we got Parasite. He uses a PS5 controller with PS5 sticks. I know he recently switched, so he used to use the PS4 controller, but he plays like half claw, I'm pretty sure. So he uses paddles and also uses claw. So he'll use claw for like the top, for I think Y and X or triangle and square on PlayStation. Octane, we got using a PS4 controller with standard PS4 sticks. All right, we got Karma. He uses a PS4 controller with scuff sticks, and he also plays claw. For Crimix, I have no idea. I just checked his Twitch, and it just said whatever works, so it makes sense this guy wouldn't want to share his secrets. Formal uses an Xbox scuff, but that's only for Halo because they have to use Xbox, I think, or something like that. But when he plays COD, I'm pretty sure he uses a PS4 controller with scuff sticks. All right, just for the sake of this video, here we go. Right here, we got 3 stock Xbox One controllers. We got an Elite controller up there. Right here, we got an a PS4 controller with Xbox thumbsticks. Stock PS5, stock PS4, PS5 with Xbox thumbsticks. And then right here, this controller, I got a PS4 with PS5 thumbsticks, but here's where things get crazy because I'll just swap it out. I'll just take this controller apart. We got scuff thumbsticks, Battle Beaver Pro thumbsticks, other scuff thumbsticks. These are the one Ghosty uses. Those are Xbox, and then those are spare PS5. And then right here we got Control Freak CQC, and then no slip thumb grips from Control Freak. I actually forgot this one over there too. We got a PS5 with PS4 thumbsticks, so that adds to it. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of money here. I don't know if it actually adds up to $1,000, but it's, as you can see, you know, I definitely put some money into that. But yeah, I plan on reviewing these controllers, giving you the pros and cons, because there definitely are a lot of pros and cons of each one. And the pro players, they kind of just have to pick one and then stick with it, which is probably what you're better off doing. But, you know, I definitely have noticed some pros and cons of each one. So yeah, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that, and like this video, and then I'll see you in the next one.